Reed Jones, and I am your host. And today we want to talk about a topic that has been on my heart for a long time because these last few years I've been in education and teaching and dealing with kids. So this conversation was really important to me. And to discuss that conversation, I have a very special guest. This person is someone I formerly worked with. She's a mother and she's also a teacher. Welcome, none other than Miss Allen. Miss Allen, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. Thank you for having me, Mr. Jones, what I call you.
Right. I'm so used to calling you Miss Allen, Miss Allen. But the reason why I brought you on because it's like so cool that you're in both spaces, like seeing as though you are a mother and a teacher. So I feel like you were the perfect guest for this conversation. So before we get into that, just tell the viewers just a little bit about yourself.
All right. My name is Khaila, so you can call me Khaila. Yes, I am a mom. My son is about to turn 3. He is a lot. Keep me on my toes. I am an educator. I teach 2nd grade. This is my 4th year. And that's about it. I don't really do too much. I really just raise my kid, make sure that I cook every day and go to work.
For sure. And what made you want to teach? Like, what is it? Like, was there an experience that happened or like what made you want to be like a part of education or teach kids?
So my honest answer is my mama, she's been an educator for over 20 years. So I've always, experienced going up to her job, watching her work with kids. And I was doing like work from home. I worked for Quicken Loans for a long time and I was working from home. And I just wanted something that, something new. So she got me in a position at the school that she was working at. And once I got there, I'm like, oh, no, this ain't for me. It's not for me. But as I've been doing it, I've been learning how to, just navigate through education, build a relationship with the students, build rapport with their families. And I'm starting to appreciate it more because it's really about changing the kids' lives, like making an impact on their lives. Because some kids don't have a person that they, can talk to, communicate with, or anything like that. So just making a difference, I think is what's keeping me.
For sure. For sure. No, I feel the same way. Like, I remember when I was over at RSLA my first year, and it was like 2021, and the guy who we had the contract with the school, he had a partnership with the school, and he was like, man, I see what you do in the mentor program because I'm one of like the mentors in this program called Caught Up. I got the hoodie on today, so shout out Caught Up. But it's a male mentoring program, and so he was like, man, I see how you like are with these kids and like with the young kids or whatever, the guys, and I feel like you'll be perfect for what I'm doing over at RSLA. So I was like, man, I ain't go to school to be a teacher because I went to school to like be a coach because my degree is like in fitness and wellness or whatever. So I'm like, man, that's the last thing I want to do because I know how silly I was in school and like how crazy acting I was. So I'm like, I'm definitely not trying to do that because, payback is a dog. So I'm not trying to deal with that. But when I first got there, it was like, I was like so timid and like going by the book, and there's nothing wrong with going by the book or whatever, but he was like, man, just be you, like take the like curriculum that we had because we had taught financial literacy to the kids. And so he was like, take some of your stories that you have to deal with money when you were in college or different stuff and make it your own. Like you don't have to go strictly by the book with the curriculum. It's there like to be your backbone, but do what you need to do. And like you said, like when you start to relate to the kids and you start to be yourself, you see how much, in common that you may have had with them, like whether they've went through something that you've gone through as a kid or like just like you said, making a difference. So that's dope. And I definitely got to see how you made a difference in those kids' lives. Like when I used to come in there and teach or just even sit and hang out for a little bit, they'd be jamming to Bob Marley and all the different tunes while they getting their work done. So yeah, it's definitely dope just to, see a kid that may be just like how you were when you were a little kid and you can like have some impact on their lives. So with that being said, this was a post that I saw on Facebook, and I was like, right, I definitely need Miss Allen for this, because I can't really think of like nobody else really other than your mom really, but to be on
as cool as I am.
And so it's like, I saw this post and it said this. It said, hot take, you have 8 hours to teach my kid. If you can't fit it in, please do it tomorrow. We get 4 hours with our kids after school to bedtime. I'm not wasting it on homework. Life skills and family time matter just as much. So being on both sides of that, as a mother and as an educator, how do you feel about that? Or like when you hear that, do you agree? Do you not agree? How do you feel about it?
Okay, I have mixed emotions, because as an educator, it's like when you receive your children from us after we've had them, you know, for a big bulk of the day. Like, we see your child maybe more than some parents even see them. Yeah. Then you have the kids who are in separate households. Like, some of them don't see their daddy every day. Some of them might not see their mom every day. So when you get them kids from us after we've had them for all those hours, you have to do your part too.
Right.
We're not miracle, you know, we don't make miracles. And it starts at home. Yeah. It really does. It starts at home. So like parents will bring their child in. Oh, my baby can't read. Well, are you reading every day to your child? Are you sitting down and going over the answers with them? Like, I have students who bring in homework answers wrong. Like, y'all not checking their work.
Right.
You know? But as a mom, I also do understand, because once I pick my baby up from daycare and he been with them for 8 hours, it's like, I don't feel like doing this no more. I know I done taught kids all day. I just want to come in, we eat, we chill out, watch a movie, and that's just it. So it is a little conflicting, but I feel like being in both roles, like, I have no choice. Right. I have no choice, because if I want my child to succeed, I'm not going to push everything off on their teacher. But I don't know. You just have to find balance.
Yeah,
like, that's that's the key. You have to find balance. You have to put in the work. If you want your child to be able to read, spell, write, you know, just basic things, basic knowledge, how to do math, adding, subtracting, you have to like find time to cater to your child's educational needs. It can't always just be, okay, baby, we just got home and we about to watch TV. We about to watch Baby Shark. Like, no, I can't. We can't do that every day. Some days I'll find myself like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. But even with my baby being in daycare, his teacher sent him home with homework, and I'd be like, man.
Right.
But I have to do it, because I don't want my kid being the one in class that's like, don't know nothing.
Right.
Don't know nothing.
Sure.
Or, you know, that's just like sitting there and not getting the help that he needs. Like, he has to be able to go to school with some skills that he's receiving at home. So I guess I have a mixed opinion on that.
So most people may say I can't really comment on it because I'm only on one side, because I don't have no kids, even though for some reason people just think I got a daughter somewhere. Like, everybody always asking me, like,
not they putting kids on.
Right, like, Mr. Jones, you got a daughter? Like, and one kid, she told me, she like, you look like you have a daughter. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Like, everybody always saying I got a kid.
You gonna have a daughter.
Right.
Everybody writing that.
Man, I'm nervous now because I want a son first. I don't want a daughter. That's too much. But like, I think for me, like, being in education and being around kids for like the last 3 years, it's like what you said, and that's what I always start with. Like, you know, what are you doing at home? Because really, I think a lot of times parents look to teachers or educators as like watered down babysitters. Mm-hmm. When, you know, I look at a person like yourself or Miss Jones, you know, people like that do more than teach you a subject. Because really, if you got the degree, then you know like the ins and outs of like a curriculum and stuff like that, and it's what you went to school with. But people like you guys are like spending time with these kids, building bonds with them. So it's like a lot of times parents don't really want to do the work, and they basically push their kids off on the teachers, and when they not doing or succeeding at the level that they should, it's like, well, what the teacher not doing that? Why she not, or why he not doing this? But it's like, no disrespect, but your son couldn't read before he got in my class. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a lot of accountability that a lot of parents have to take. But on the flip side of that, sometimes just think about how hard you guys' job are, because it's not like you're the at-risk teacher dealing with one student or like 5 out of 30 kids. That is
what I was going to say. I have, and parents don't understand. You have 30, I have 30 students in my classroom. Right. I can't cater to your child all day long. I have to stretch myself and spread myself so thin across all 30 kids. And then you have kids, they learn differently. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They have different learning styles, different learning patterns. And you have to really figure out what each child needs. So I can't pacify or babysit, as you said, your child or cater to just this one child's needs. I have to make sure that I'm reaching all 30 of these students.
Yeah.
And parents don't understand that sometimes. They no, my baby matter the most.
Right. Yeah. They don't really just think how I say it all the time. I feel like educators and doctors are some of the most valuable careers ever, because you don't you got different areas in healthcare. You got in education, now you have, different learning things. Sometimes you'll deal with some kids and you never knew that, this person have a disability. And it's not outright, you can see it. And you got to be able to be flexible and fit your curriculum to where you meeting the needs of all 30 kids. It ain't you just got 15 kids in a class. You could just be okay, you got 30 kids, sometimes more than 30.
Yes.
So I think a lot of times, parents really have to understand, you got to, like you said, balance. You got to work with us, because we only should be reiterating what you're doing at home. Yes, you may have a degree, they may not. But if I send them home with homework, it's hey, you got to sit down and take time. But I think on a bigger and broader scale, it goes back to what the post said. I'm trying to spend time with my family. I want to relax. And you thinking about, as a parent, your own personal life. You got to worry about bills.
Right.
You got to dang, I just woke up and did a 6 to 2 shift. And then I got to come back and work 3 more hours basically for free with my child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a tough situation, but I think the key word, like you said, is balance. Understanding okay, I'm the teacher, you the parent, and I may see your child more, but then it's sometimes, and we've seen it, when we were at DSLA, you can tell the kids that's the parents really, they don't value education.
Yeah, they don't care.
You know what I'm saying? And it starts at the top. My dad always tell me everything starts at home. So you got a lot of kids where you got to work overtime. And when I say overtime, it's you thinking oh man, I'm going to just come in here, I'm going to teach, I'm going to build relationships with these kids. But you always got a kid that's going to disrupt the learning.
And that takes away from instructional time. You got to go back and reteach because you done dealt with this student, had to write them up. And then go over the whole lesson all over again. So you have factors that plays a big part in the classroom. So sometimes you not gonna get through everything that you wanted to get through.
Exactly. And again, that's the thing. I think sometimes parents don't really understand. And then you gotta, I feel I'm not even gonna say I'm more so on the teacher side, because I'm with you. It's balanced. You gotta work on both ends. But I think when you look at what a teacher have to deal with, making sure you telling the same 3-4 kids Monday through Friday, hey, sit down, do your work, do you have your homework, stop talking, this, that, and the third. And some of these kids are your babies that you complaining about, you know what I'm saying? And then it's one thing, I always used to say, you expecting the parent to not necessarily be on your side, but understand where you coming from as a mature adult. But you got a lot of kids raising kids. So it's when you walk in there, you could tell, from a conversation, parent-teacher conference, if you come and you call somebody,
don't even show up to parent-teacher conference.
Right,
that bothered me so bad.
You call a parent and you well, your son, do something he's been constantly out of order, and but what they make him do to hit somebody, it's not always the case.
Just crazy,
right? No, sometimes it do be that, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. like the lack of accountability sometimes, because you got to think with you as a teacher, you got to come up, you got to go by the curriculum. Yeah. You got to make sure you flexible and make sure everybody is getting the proper, learnings to where they can do the work the right way. And you got to deal with, some kids, they going through stuff at home.
Right.
So before you be like, boy, what's wrong with you? You got to check in on the kid and you got to do all these different things. You basically, in a lot of regards, are a parent to some degree at school a lot of times, because
a parent, therapist, nurse, like you have so many titles and roles as a teacher.
Right.
Like it gets tough.
Yeah, and just imagine like the kids that don't really get that love and affection at home, and then they come into school, and then because you got some teachers that just strictly go to school just to teach and pick up the check. So that kids, like, these kids are just another number. So they come in like, hey, I done did what I need to do. I may tell you to be quiet and sit down a few
once
times.
They leave, they don't care.
Right. Like, I got my money. Right. So it's like, that's how people do. But when you got a person like you, like, a person like Miss Clark, watching her, Mrs. Jones, like sitting and like will sit down and go to the ends of the earth for these kids and sit with their parents. Like, what do we need to do to make sure that your child is getting what they need? And then a lot of times the sad part is like you go through all that from September to June, and then the parents still be on games. They're like, it's no like,
and it's like, I done did everything. I done bought your baby shoes. I had the baby at my house. We've been on the phone. Like, you literally will go the extra mile for certain students because you know that they need it. Like, you can see it.
Yeah,
you can see it. And as an educator, like, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't help a child that, that genuinely needed it. Because nowadays, kids getting bullied at school for the most simplest things. Yeah. And that stops them from wanting to learn. And like you said, the parents be, well, who's in there? Like, who messing with my baby?
Yeah, I remember I was talking to a parent not too long ago. I was like, ma'am, your child said A, B, and C to this kid. And she was like, he just said that for no reason. Like, and I'm new at this school, so I was like, I don't know how dude is. I'm just learning a lot of these kids' names for real. So, I'm just listening to her. She like, I don't, like, he just said that for no reason.
My
he just
son don't say stuff like that. Yes, your son does.
Right. And that'd be the craziest part. Like, your son talk crazy to you, so I know he gonna talk crazy to a little kid. Right. So it just be like, man, it's like
kids
the stuff.
Be disrespecting the teachers nowadays. Like, you have some honorary students. I have had students that just flat out just will ignore what I say, and I'll be like, "You do that at home with your mama. You don't bring that in this classroom.
You gotta,
you cannot. Like, kids, it starts at home. Like you said, the kids who are being taught well at home based on the way that they act at school.
Man, no, for sure. And then it's like, I'm 24 and I'd be like shocked. I thought I was gonna have to be like 40 or 50 to start feeling like this. Like, it's just like when you see a kid, like, and I ain't saying it like I wasn't. I don't know if you could use
right. We wasn't bad.
Right, like, that's the thing. Like, it's different. Like, and I be trying to tell like my relatives that's older than me. They like, well, everybody everybody had their moments for sure, but like, it's, I don't know, the generation is definitely different.
Media too, like, parents they be so like wanting their own, like you said, personal time that they shoo their kids off. So bye, go get on your iPad, go in your room, go watch TV, and these kids on YouTube listening to Lil Baby and Dirk and like they are just exposed to way too much TikTok and Instagram. Like, why are you 8 years old with an Instagram account? Right. You scrolling through TikTok, and I don't know. It's like the media plays a huge part. Yeah. But as a parent, you have to learn to like have boundaries. Like, make sure you lock those type of apps up, because my baby ain't about to be. Right. No, absolutely not.
And I think the biggest thing is like, I feel like some parents, not all, like some parents feel like if I don't let my child like be exposed to this stuff,
they're gonna learn it sometime later down the line.
Yeah, and then another part is like, oh, I don't want my child to be mad at me. Like, man, like our parents, like
Be
I know,
mad.
like our parents was not worried about like if we was mad, like about some, especially over some stuff like that. Like I can see if it was something like you hurt my feelings on something, like then okay, cool. But it's like different now. Like
my mama be like, "Bye, be mad at this room that I pay for. Be mad at that table that you eat."
Exactly.
Like, I don't care about my baby being mad. My child will be A-okay, because once you become an adult, you'll be able to make sound decisions and know right from wrong. Some stuff children should just not be involved in.
It's really, man, I ain't even gonna say, it is scary though, but like it's so crazy. Like I was just telling somebody I work with, like, man, I remember like you could tell somebody, like back when I was younger, like you could tell somebody, I'm gonna call your mom or I'm gonna call your dad, and you instantly straighten up and did what you're supposed to do. Now the kids be like, oh, all right. Like,
the number is 313.
Right, like, because nowadays, like the parents, like you'll see all your child doing, you'll still go out and get them a PS5. Like, oh, your son, like, excuse me, man, like your son was like,
he in here throwing tables, right? Like, come get him,
and she'll come get him and take him to McDonald's. Like, this is crazy. This is like
crazy.
But the kids, like, they don't really understand like how like bad that is for a kid because they've never heard no. So it's like when they hear Miss Allen saying like, oh, no, you got to go sit down.
Yeah.
You used to being up, and people really do not understand. I was just talking to somebody today about this. Like, it was like I was in a room where it was a VCR, and I'm like, man, it's so crazy how like just times have changed, even with the smallest things. Like we done been through Blu-ray DVDs, regular DVD players, VHS, so now we got streaming services. But like you said, the parents just all through the pandemic, because I seen somebody say, and this is a factor, but I can't keep blaming. Me personally, I'm not going to keep blaming the pandemic on why people can't get ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like people like, oh, after the pandemic, these kids was virtual. And don't get me wrong, you could definitely see like how the pandemic took a toll on education and like a lot of kids. But it goes back to what you said. What are you doing at home? Because parenting don't stop because the pandemic here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Parenting does not stop. Your job at home still should not have stopped. Like the pandemic was a crazy, tragic, time, but you still have to do your job as a parent. These kids, they were still in school virtually. Y'all still should have been doing some sort of learning time every single day.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Every day.
Yeah, my dad, it would irritate me for sure because it's like the summertime, but he would be like, man, y'all read a book and summarize the first chapter, or like tell me what you read about. Like if you write it down, or either tell me what you read, like in full detail. And like we out of school, so it's like it would irritate us, but you see how that like helped us with critical thinking, how it helped
building comprehension skills.
All that stuff.
You can read something to a kid nowadays, and the story would be about, I don't know, a football field, and you ask them, oh, it was about the grocery store.
Right.
Like,
it'd be crazy though. Like, no, that'd be crazy. Like sometimes it's like, man, you got to meet, because I'm like silly already. So it's like sometimes you be walking past, you like, what's 2 + 2? Like I remember I was telling somebody this, I was helping somebody with math, and like normally like to help kids and make it more relatable, like I put the beads out or like something like that. Like, okay, we got 3 pencils over here. We got 1 on this side. So when we put them together, how many you have? They yell out some number like 82. Like, what?
Like,
you looking around like, but it's like so far off because like you could tell, and don't get me wrong, like it's not always the parents. Like sometimes the parents be putting in work at home, and then sometimes the kid just like,
they just don't
for some reason they just don't understand it, and it may be a deeper issue, but like more so on the fact of like when you not doing the work, or like you just let your child just roam and get an iPad, as you said, and just lock them in a room and be like, okay, do what you want to do. They gonna do exactly that.
They gonna do whatever it is that they want to do.
Man, we will always tell them, like I remember we always just tell them at DSLA, whatever you do at home, don't bring it in here.
You can't do that here.
Right. You can't.
Your mama let you cuss her out. That's what y'all deal with at home. But in this class,
man, you can't do that. And it's crazy to say like second graders are like cursing. Like it was like, it's so.
Literally, this just happened on Friday. My students, I found like a note. They was passing notes. Oh my gosh.
The notes be different.
So vulgar. I'm like, who wrote this?
But
what? Y'all spelling all these cussing words out like who? how do y'all even know to say these words? Like, they are being exposed to way too much.
Yeah, the environment is like really crazy. And that's the thing. Like how you said, social media plays a part in the environment. Like if all you see is your mom, your dad, or whoever is taking care of you around, you know, BS or stuff that just not conducive and like good for like your family. It's just, you gonna pick that stuff up. Cause it's like, you know how to spell, you know how to spell the A word or the F word. But it's like when I say spell run, you like, right, like, hold on now. But that's the thing. Like, I think part of it is the beauty of it. Cause like when you see that, as a teacher, I would thrive off that because it's like you can get a kid to say, hey, you putting all this energy into stuff that's negative.
Right.
How about we keep that same energy, but we put it into something that's actually going to get you somewhere? Like, and a lot of people don't do that.
My mama used to say, you know all them words to them songs, you better know how to read them.
For real.
Like,
that's how my dad used to do, like playing the game on 2K, like, and it used to make me not even want to play 2K no more. Like, because the way he had said, like, I'd be done with my homework or like, I just be chilling. He was like, you know, you excited about this, but you ain't as excited about education. So I need you to get with it. Like, I don't even want to play no more. Cause it's just like, but you see as an adult, like when your parents, they always told us like, you'll see when you get older. And I'm starting to see it. I swear,
I'm seeing, like,
it's so crazy.
Rushing to get grown and to become an adult, that was the worst thing I could ever did.
No,
I don't wish that no more.
No, that's why I be telling them, like, man, y'all be like, I remember one time I was actually in your mom class and I was like, I did the this or that game and I was like, stand on this side if you like Mickey Mouse, stand on this side if you like Goofy. Or like I made it like some of the shows, because some of them really don't even know about Mickey Mouse and Goofy like that. So I think it was like some of the Disney shows that's out now. And then one girl was like, she in second grade, mind you, she like, that's a kiddie show. I'm like, bro, you in second grade. Like, you are a kid. Yes. Like, you're not a grown woman, but it's like, that's what they around. Like,
Bad Girls Club, all that with their mama on Tubi. Like, you cannot watch that stuff.
No, man, the Tubi movie, that's crazy. Sitting up watching them, like, and that's true. Like, it's not an exaggeration. Like, even though we laughing, like, this is really, I'm laughing because it's so true.
Yes.
Like, you will come in and like, they know the words to like every Lil Baby song or like NBA Youngboy or like all this stuff. But it's like, dang, what if you really took the time? But it'd be so sad because the parents think that's like cute. They record that.
They be waiting to post that type of stuff. No, post your baby doing that math homework. Right. Knowing them spelling words.
Right. Make a boomerang and then finish them words.
Okay, you posting the wrong stuff, glorifying the wrong stuff. Like,
man, it's crazy. But I would say like, my question to you is, but aside from balance, what have you seen in education that you've done that can help the kids and help them be more successful academically?
I feel like just since I'm a young like educator, because I'm only 27, so I'm closer, you know, and more. I can relate to the kids more. So just making things fun for them. Like, it wasn't last year. I believe it was the year before. Like, my students, we made a class song based off a beat, like, you know, that they like. So just little things like that, because sad to say, like, their parents are not going to stop exposing them to these things. So we have to, you know, find the silver lining or find the positivity in these type of situations and just make it to where the child can relate. So if you got to make up a class song with a little baby beat, you're going to have to do that. Like, so I think that that's like, you know, one of the many things that, you know, I've done, just making things more relatable to the children. Speaking, sad to say, but like, you have to speak in their language, a way that they can understand, because those monotone, boring teachers, they're not going to retain that information. Like, they're going to retain information from educators who are fun and relatable.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. And on the flip side of that, as a mother, what do you feel like some advice for you to parents, not just mothers, but parents in general, that you would give in order to like find that balance or like help with the teacher, I wouldn't say teacher versus parent, but like finding that balance with the teacher and the parent to where the kid can ultimately achieve their academic goals and go on to do whatever it is they want to do in life.
Yeah. I think that you, as a parent, you have to be open to constructive criticism.
For sure.
Like teachers, well, I know me, I'm very transparent with my students' parents. Like you have to be open to receiving the feedback on what it is that you need to do at home. So like we just had parent teacher conferences all last week and I had to tell my parents like, you got to take at least 30 minutes a day, at least. Like your child, they need that help. They can't just go home and just do whatever it is they want to do. You have to actually help them. They're not going to look in the sky and find the answers. It has to be applied. Like
exactly.
So I think just being open to feedback, having an open mind, not taking everything like, so personal. Like me, that was my biggest problem when I first had my baby. I'm just like, don't tell me what to do with my son. Don't tell me what to do. But really, like, you need those people who will tell you what to do. Like, you have to have an open mind. So just, once again, like defining the balance is the hardest part, but you have to start somewhere. So even if it's 30 minutes, an hour, like the time is going to build up. And at some point, your child y'all are both going to be excited to come home. Oh, it's learning time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we got an hour to just not be engulfed in our phones or in the TV or whatever it is that's, surrounding us at the moment. You have to just take the time because these kids didn't ask to be here. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't ask you to have them. Like you knew that as a parent that you would have to have the responsibility of raising your child, and the way you raise them is really your decision. Like,
yeah, that's real, and that's facts. I agree from top to bottom 100%. And I think the biggest thing, both on the, like you said, from the parent side and the teacher side, we got to work together at the end of the day because we both have a job to do as an educator and as a parent. And if we're on the same page, then the kid wins. So that's the biggest thing. And so now we're going to play a game that I like to play on the podcast. It's called Let Me Get to Know You. So it's a few questions. It may be a this or that question. But today I think you got off good today. So the first question is, you got to pick which one you would watch or which one you would prefer.
Okay.
So we got Full House, Family Matters, or Cosby Show, and why?
I'll say The Cosby Show.
Okay.
It's just a nice representation of an African American family, and I feel like, you can really learn from watching the show, like based off of the parenting styles that, the Cosby had. It's a mom, dad, and not everybody has that. So even just watching that's something that you can look forward to, as a kid, you can look forward to. So I would choose The Cosby Show, the parenting styles, the way that they love their children, speaking life into their kids. Like that show, you have different situations that you can learn from. So I would choose The Cosby Show. For
sure. I'm going to go Family Matters just because, a lot of kids said when I was growing up, it probably still said, I look like Steve Urkel. Yeah, so that's my show for sure. I used to have a crew neck with Steve Urkel on it. It was dope. I think I just gave it away. I shouldn't have though. But
safe.
And then I just like how my boy Steve was able to get Laura at the end. And, it was just, I want to say they had 9 seasons of Family Matters. And it was just like a whole bunch of funny stuff. And like every character on there like had their own like way of making the show fire. So the next question, because you feel me, we know Miss Allen, she got a lot of money. I used to always tell her.
Gosh.
She came in with all the shoes. I'm like, sheesh, I got to be around her. So Yeezy slides, Crocs, or Uggs? Which ones would you wear or
why
prefer?
You ask me that? I'll say the Yeezy slides.
Okay.
Super comfortable. And I'm yep. Yeezy slides. I was gonna change my mind. Yeezy slides, super comfortable. Crocs are too, though.
Yeah.
Crocs are real comfortable, but the Yeezy slides, they just in.
Yeah.
They in. You can match them up, and I like the colors. Like, you know, they like neutral colors, so you can wear. You can have on some green Yeezy slides with a black jogging suit, a brown. You know what I'm saying? So I would say the slides.
I'm gonna say Crocs only because. Like, I don't know. I just like Crocs. And it's so crazy how the price just keep increasing because it's fashionable now. But I need to get some of the newer Crocs. And even if I don't get those, I just need some black ones because my black ones, they done. They through. Mm-hmm. So I will go Crocs.
Wear my Crocs through the... My Crocs look...
No, for real.
Look crazy.
Like, man, they done for. So the next one. Nuggets or fries? Nuggets or fries? Fries.
Ooh, fries with some type of dipping sauce.
For sure.
Sweet and sour sauce or barbecue sauce.
Man.
I'm a fry person, for sure.
For sure. You had me on the sweet and sour sauce. Which place would you go to get the fries, though? What place is like, okay, if I'm getting some fries, I'm going here?
Don't judge me. McDonald's.
Hey, no, it ain't nothing wrong.
They gotta be super fresh though. Super fresh fries. A side of sweet and sour sauce. That's it. That's all I need.
No, McDonald's sweet and sour sauce still do here. I think low key, Wendy's got the best sweet and sour sauce for sure. But I'm gonna go with Chick-fil-A. You know how I feel about Chick-fil-A.
Waffle fries. Yeah, you love you some Chick-fil-A.
Man, I had just got some the other day, but no, McDonald's fries still hit. Now, I don't know about everything else, but they fries definitely, like you said, if they fresh and you get them at the right time, they say you should go around lunchtime, then they'll be the best.
Or you got to tell them no salt. When you say no salt, they'll drop a fresh batch. Then just get you a little salt packet on the side.
I would go fries too, though, because I always I still love nuggets, but like I think when I got to Chick-fil-A, I don't know, Chick-fil-A, man. Y'all be judging me, man. Chick-fil-A changed my life, man. Trying to tell y'all. But the last question, it says, what is the best city you've been to and why?
Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, so it's hard. I wanna say Atlanta.
Okay.
I do. I want to say Atlanta. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Detroit. I love city. Like, I love the culture here. I love our lingo. I love, like, the food places and just, like, the environment. But Detroit is a bad place. Detroit is not a good place. Yes. So when you go to other cities, and everywhere has its, its downfalls. Every city does, but it's something about Atlanta. It's something about just the people. It's something about just trying the different restaurants. It's the one restaurant that I go to in Atlanta. It's called Rock South Cuisine. It's so good. And just I don't know. I just love Atlanta. I love Atlanta.
Atlanta, it is a pretty dope spot. That is like one of the 3 places that I want to live. But that traffic, that what made it, man. I can't do it.
Oh, and I like Houston too.
Yeah, that's where I want to know. That's a place I want to go. It's just, I forget what the place is called. Like, they serve shakes, waffle fries. I forget what it's called. I definitely want to go there. It's gonna come to me after. But I would say for me, the best city I've been to is between. I would say Nashville and Los Angeles. Just like going to school in the South. I went to school in Huntsville, Alabama. Just like the Southern hospitality. Yeah. The people. Just all type of stuff. I've
been to LA.
Yeah, it's been like, man, LA, like that used to be a place I wanted to live, but I'm like, nah, that traffic there. You think Atlanta traffic is crazy? Like, my brother, he used to live in Los Angeles, and like he was like, man, some place that take me only 15 minutes, it'd be like 40 minutes to get to. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. And then when I went down there to visit them and I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I can't do this. But LA for sure. Just like the beaches, like the food trucks in the summertime, just all the different stuff, man. It's definitely dope.
I gotta get to LA. I have to.
For sure. Like, man, those 2 places, Nashville and LA, I love going there. But I definitely want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your comments, and I definitely feel like, you know, for those who view this, they definitely apply this. They should apply this, you know, as a parent or as an educator, because we want our kids, not necessarily our blood kids, but like in the school system to succeed, because, you know, especially as like Black kids and just Black people in general, you know, we got strikes on us, whether it's you a woman, you a Black kid. And in this case, like a lot of times my mentors say, you from Detroit. So it's like, you know, you got 3 strikes against you. So you want to be able to not be a statistic and, you know, be all that you want to be. So I definitely appreciate you for coming through.
Of course.
Definitely
Thank you
appreciate
for having
you.
me.
For sure. For sure. Thank y'all guys for tuning in to the Let's Talk About It podcast, where we turn conversation into application. I'll see y'all same time, same place. Appreciate y'all.